Hello once again, this is Brother Teacher with an example of how your stomach can be diluted, or your stomach's acid or hydrochloric acid and or pepsidin can be diluted and not be effective in breaking down your food so that it can be assimilated. So someone responded to a video that I did early this year or the latter part of last year, when I made the statement that you should never drink a beverage with your meal, and especially you should never drink anything that is carbonated, such as soda pop, salsa water, and so forth, with your meal, because it will dilute and hold ineffective the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, and your food will not break down properly. And so someone said your body will make more hydrochloric acid. Okay, that's an interesting take. How can your body make more hydrochloric acid to break your food down when you start drinking a beverage, when your stomach can only hold approximately 1 to 2 liters of volume or food? Okay, now I want you, those that are watching me right now, to use your common sense. Let's say, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that enjoy coffee, let's say that this is coffee that you drink every morning or throughout the day. If you were to fill this container up with water, would the coffee be the same? Would it still be the same concentration? Or would it be watered down to the point where you would not even know that it's coffee anymore? Even if it was hot chocolate, even if it was milk, even if it was chocolate, period, and you filled it up with water up into this level, it no longer tastes like the beverage that you originally had in here, because it has been watered down because of the volume of the other liquid that you're placing in here outweighs it. Is more substantial than what you started with. It couldn't possibly be the same. So wouldn't you say that if this same orange color in here was your stomach acid, and let's say we were to drop, these are assimilating food, this is food, and this stomach acid is at its fullest potential. It is very, very acid. It's going to break this food down. Here we go. Enter the beverage in the meal. This beverage in time is inside of your stomach. The more you drink, now you filled your stomach up with water or some other beverage, tea or soda pop. Do you think that that stomach acid that was originally here has been watered down? Do you think it's going to still be as effective when it was in its full strength once you add 4 or 5 times the volume of some other liquid? It couldn't possibly be the same. So what happens when we drink a beverage with our meals, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? When we drink a beverage, it dilutes the stomach acid and renders it incapable of breaking down the food for digestion. So what happens then, ladies and gentlemen, is that food never digests. So it gets forced through the intestines, from the small intestine to the large intestine. It becomes very, very acidic, which is not supposed to be. Once it leaves the stomach, it's supposed to go into an alkaline state at some point and leave the body, especially in the large intestine or the colon. So now you have food that is aging as it goes through the digestive process leaving the stomach, that is small intestine, large intestine, or the colon. Now it is becoming gaseous. Okay, it is becoming very, very volatile. It's going to be very, very rancid because the food is not being broken down, or it has not been broken down. So let's summarize this again. Even though in American culture we've been doing this ever since we were young, we were children, because we didn't know any better. No one ever taught us this. When you were taught as a child to sit down at a dinner table with your meal, you always had a glass of something sitting there. Tea, sometimes soda, sometimes milk, sometimes coffee when you got older, alongside your meal. When you go to a restaurant, there's a beverage there and you eat your meal. It's a traditional thing or habit or custom, but it doesn't mean that it was right. Okay, just because someone has done it for decades. So use your common sense. If you have this much stomach acid and you add that much water or another beverage, is the potency of the stomach acid the same? It couldn't be. That's just like saying taking this much stomach acid and dumping it into a lake. You figure the rest of it out. It's going to dissipate. No longer effective at all, because it's going to be affected and it is going to be rendered helpless due to the volume of the other liquid being greater. It's really that simple. So now, if you just feel like you want to drink something when you are eating a meal, you can try some apple cider vinegar in a glass of water, 8 to 12 ounces of water, a teaspoon or a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And you might say, well, brother teacher, why you say apple cider vinegar or even lemon? Well, these two ingredients, natural ingredients, actually help your stomach to digest food. It helps your stomach to produce even more hydrochloric acid, especially especially the apple cider vinegar. Now, if your food does not digest because you're drinking beverages alongside your meal at the same time, then it's going to pass your food, that is, it's going to pass through your intestinal tract undigested, and eventually you're going to end up with some gastrointestinal issues such as leaky gut, IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, colitis, and even Crohn's disease, and those other things associated. So you don't want to have to go through that problem, and somewhere down the line too, you could also end up constipated and you can't pass the stool because it's going to become impacted in your transverse colon, hindering your bowel movement from safely coming out. Then you're going to end up straining or seeking some sort of medical assistance, through some harsh laxative or some kind of chemicals that they're going to give you to try to help and relieve that, or something for your stomach because you have stomach problems or what have you. But all of this stuff here can be alleviated or stopped or just done away with if you follow the rules of nature. Okay, drinking a beverage, especially 12, 14, 16 ounces of a beverage alongside your meal, it's not good. It's really that simple. So if you have any further questions, any comments on this particular subject or any other subject for that matter, you know what to do. Comment section below. This is Brother Teacher. I'm out.